last week when I was talking about Madagascar's Gen Z protests, again, it seems like your protest doesn't go anywhere if you don't have 19 protesters shot and killed. But I pointed out then, and even it was the subject of the video that I clipped, which was, is it we getting Gen Z protests, or is it just disaffected Zoomers? Sorry, it's the disaffected Zoomer spring. It's not an Arab spring, it's the disaffected Zoomers. So, yep, Kathmandu dilemma. So I wasn't aware that some of these other countries were coming up. So I said Madagascar had protests, and we were unlikely to see follow-on because, sadly, there's not a lot of coverage of Madagascar events. Morocco has now been suffering protests, mostly students and unemployed graduates. Protesters are demanding sweeping reforms in healthcare, education, and social justice. Are you saying that Obama's Arab Spring was a failure? No, we can't say that. Well, we can. Money going into supporting the World Cup, that should be going to support everybody else. Youth unemployment at 36%. Probably a good reason people are upset. And nearly 20% of graduates upset. Yeah, I can get it. And having several women die after C-sections. Oh, yeah, okay. It sounds like there's valid reasons, but they've killed 3 in return and hundreds injured. Well, okay, maybe that's why no one's paid attention, because they haven't killed enough. It needs to be 20. I don't know why. It just seems to be that's that magic number before people start paying attention. Attempting dialogue and discussion, the protesters demand the government resign. Now, Madagascar, yep, I talked about that. The government collapsed there or resigned. South America. So, Peru, the protests have started after reforms to a pension law, and then wider calls for stamping out corruption, repression, and crime under Boluarte. I think that's the correct way of pronouncing it. Approval ratings to 2.5%, and the government only at 3%. Wow, sounds like it's a US government. But wow, if your approval ratings are that low, surely there's a way to step it back. Now, as I scroll past, yep, this is the Peruvian protest. The One Piece. It boggles my mind that for years no one really cared about One Piece. I mean, people who were into it really loved it, but the last couple of years, last 18 months, it's just suddenly appeared and hopped into the public consciousness. Not bad. I wonder how many people are actually willing to sit down and look at the entire body of work that forms One Piece. But hey, look, if it's a common thread. So yeah, Nepal as well. So yeah, last year Bangladesh had protests that led to outings. 2022, Sri Lanka did a similar sort of thing. Well, Sri Lanka had a civil war for many years, and youth protests on a bunch of other places. So the idea that, okay, bleak economic outlooks, priorities are far away from everyday lives and fears and anxieties, sounds like any youth generation. So, kind of in days of liberal democracy, again, that depends on how you define it and the outcomes of like the Arab Spring and everything else. Yeah, they feel shortchanged. Yep, cool, whatever. Digital natives. We talk about different um, the protesters using the technology of the day to communicate. Back when, back before the internet, there were party lines that were being used, party phone lines were used. People would coordinate and exchange information using letters, newsletters, pamphlets, graffiti, street art, well, you name it. It's nothing new. They're just using the technology of the day. It's right. What that says, exactly what that says. So yeah, it'll be it'll be interesting, and it'll also be interesting to see the longer term stuff that comes out of it, because you've got issues with well, once you've overturned the government, what do you replace them with?